I'm Jim Viola, President and CEO of HAI. Welcome to this month's edition of VFR, the Viola Flight Report, where we review what HAI has been doing for you. Back in July, while attending EAA AirVenture in Oshkosh, I spoke with Alan Schrader, founder and president of Lightspeed Aviation. Lightspeed makes aviation headsets as well as audio solutions for helmets. Stay tuned to hear my interview with Alan. But first, let's talk about HAI's efforts on your behalf. There is a serious regulatory issue coming our way, and HAI is working to limit its effect on your operations. Studies have shown that the December 2021 rollout of 5G cellular networks could interfere with radar altimeter performance. This interference could lead to scrambled, delayed, or missing data from the safety-critical equipment. This is especially likely for aircraft operating close to the 5G transmission towers or below 500 feet AGL, such as helicopter air ambulance flights. HAI staff and several industry partners recently met with officials from the Federal Communications Commission to explain the disruptive impact that 5G interference will have on aviation safety. Meanwhile, HAI is asking that the FCC and the FAA jointly oversee a forum where the aviation and wireless industries can discuss a minimally disruptive path forward on 5G deployment. HAI also co-chairs an industry coalition working group that is pursuing technical solutions to this problem. That coalition is also evaluating recent international guidance from Australia, Canada, France, Japan, and other nations to conduct further research on spectrum interference. I urge you to visit the web address on your screen to learn more about this issue and what HAI is doing to protect our industry. While you are there, sign up for HAI legislative alerts so you can receive important updates on this and other issues. HAI staff often represent the rotorcraft industry on boards and working groups, both private and governmental. For instance, the National Parks Overflight Advisory Group helps the U.S. government develop management plans for our tour operations over national parks. I am a member of that group because it is critical that HAI provide the helicopter tour industry's perspective on these plans. In addition, these plans may influence similar efforts in other countries. For those of you in the U.S., there are several draft air tour management plans currently out for public review, with a comment period that closes at the end of September. If you are involved in air tours or you support those who conduct air tours, I urge you to provide comments to ensure our industry's position is documented. Visit the link on your screen to learn more or contact the HAI operations team for assistance. Last month, HAI solicited proposals for safety management system software for you, our members. I am pleased to report that we have completed our evaluations and plan to award contracts to more than one software vendor to give you options to better meet your specific requirements. In the coming weeks, we will be working with our new partners to go live with deeply discounted SMS software options. These will provide you, our valued members, with the foundational tools to establish and maintain an effective SMS. If you want to catch up on SMS, the Vertical Aviation Safety Team, or VAST, has loads of articles and papers on this effective method of aviation risk management. Visit the Safety Toolbox at vast.aero and look for SMS to learn more. This past month, the HAI Board of Directors released a video message saluting the helicopter operators, pilots, maintenance personnel, and support teams working on the devastating wildfires burning throughout the western United States, Canada, and parts of Europe and Asia. If you are one of those firefighters, let me thank you once again for the vital work that you do. HAI will continue to support your efforts. As part of that support, HAI will hold our annual Aerial Firefighting Safety Conference in Boise, Idaho on November 16th and 17th. Visit the website on your screen to register and learn more. It is also not too late to sign up to exhibit at HAI Heli Expo 2022 in Dallas. Join the more than 400 confirmed exhibitors by submitting your application today. And finally, in our latest edition of Rotor magazine, you can read how a flight as a teenager lit a spark in HAI Chairman Randy Rolls that still drives him today, both as a flight school operator and industry volunteer. This July, HAI also welcomed 2 new members to the board, Brian Jurgensen of Timberland Helicopters out of Sandpoint, Idaho, and Rick Kennan of Boston MedFlight in Bedford, Massachusetts. I thank them and all the members of the international VTOL community who volunteer on our behalf to improve our industry. This issue of Rotor is packed with all the vertical aviation content you love. We take a look at the return of an iconic aircraft, the Schweitzer 300, now being built by a U.S. company based in Fort Worth, Texas. We talk to some operators who have successfully integrated UAS into their helicopter operations. And we have the answers from recent industry survey that asked, how do you control FOD in your organization? The September 2021 issue of Rotor will soon be available either in your mailbox or at rotormedia.com. Visit rotor.com/subscribe for your free subscription to both Rotor Magazine and our e-newsletter, Rotor Daily. And now, let's go back to Oshkosh to see my interview with HAI member Lightspeed Aviation. Hello, I'm here with a longtime HAI member, Lightspeed Aviation. And today I have the opportunity to talk to Alan Schrader, and he's going to tell us a little bit about his company.
Well, thanks, Jim. Yeah, it's a privilege to be with you. And it's probably been 15 years we've been members at HAI. And our company's about communications, how to improve pilot communications so that pilots become safer and more effective in the work that they do. And we started the company, actually this is our 25th anniversary year of being providing headsets for pilots. And most of that time has been just in the headset market. And quite frankly, about 5 years into our HAI experience, pilots who were flying helicopters with headsets started saying, hey, can't you make something make your headsets go into helmets? And so after a few years of looking at that, we began to do some research and ultimately started making kits, A&R kits, purpose-built just for the helmet and helicopter market. So we've been at that quite a while, and we've been blessed to have a company that's gone 25 years and hopefully more coming.
Well, great. Tell me a little bit about the future. What do you have coming down the road?
Yeah, well, I mentioned sort of the near-term change where we got into helmets and got into providing these kinds of systems. Before that, a lot of folks would take apart our headsets or other people's headsets and try to put them in, but they never had any warranty, and they didn't have features like quick disconnect, which is something we think is real important to the safety of the helmeted operator as they have to hop out. And so there's some very specific purpose-built things that we put into the product we're making today. We're also blessed to be a part of the next generation fixed-wing helmet program for the Air Force. They're replacing the 55Ps in the fixed-wing world, and they've asked us, we're teaming with another company that makes helmets, to be an acoustic supplier for that effort. And so we're super excited about that. I mean, our warfighters really need better protection. And that's what our mission has been, to sort of create products that protect and save lives.
All right, Alan, so we talked about some headsets today. We talked about how that's safety enhancing because you worry about the communications. And then we also talked a little bit about the warfighter and the helmet that the military wears. So tell me about how do you roll all that safety together? What do you call that?
Yeah, well, I mean, I ultimately envision it as a safety wearable because there's a lot that goes on inside the helmet that protects you, and also a lot that goes on that allows you to hear better. Part of it's protecting you from the noise to hear better. Active noise helps to hear better. And it also helps improve the intelligibility. So not only does it reduce the noise, but it allows you to hear the spoken word better, which allows you, of course, to be better able to pilot the craft that you're in. And so, yeah, you mentioned the military project because we're working on some advanced stuff that are part of what future warfighters are going to wear for safety and for wearability. And so that's stuff that I hope and recommend will eventually migrate into the commercial side of the helmet business. For people who are working 8 hours a day, wearing helmets is critical because there's risk factors that we don't have. I'm a 44 pilot. Every now and then I fly But if you're working, you got to wear a helmet and have the visor down so that you're protected from things around you. I'll help protect you from the noise and the ability to hear better, but the helmet is critical to your protection.
Well, thanks for that. Thanks for making an opportunity to get Lightspeed inside the helmets, inside my helmet, even if I want to put it in my helmet.
Yep, you can.
So, appreciate all that and what you're doing for safety. Thanks.
Excellent, Jim.
Well, that wraps up this month's edition of VFR. Please email me with your comments or suggestions on how HAI can provide you with better service. Until next time, fly safe, stay safe, and keep those rotors turning.